that doesn't serve me here like it did in the US. Like every time I see a police officer, I don't need to like stand up straight and look like I'm walking with purpose. Like, no, like that doesn't serve me here because that's not the environment I'm in anymore. My name's Amina. Thank you for tuning into my channel. If you're new here, I talk all about my journey from moving out of the United States to Ecuador and all that comes with it. So if you're down to go on that journey with me, hit that subscribe button and also hit the notification button so you're notified of every time I make a new video. This video is my message to anyone that's thinking about leaving the United States. I'm just going to, in this video, tell you the things that helped me make my decision, and I hope it maybe gives you more clarity. The reason I say that is because it's more of a mental move than it is a physical move. Like anyone can hop on a plane and go somewhere, but for you to mentally, spiritually, cognitively, whatever you want to call it, prepare yourself to leave everything that you've known to go to a new place to forge yourself a better life is a whole nother thing. Number one, I think it's important that you solidify why you want to leave. And the reason I say that is because for me, moving abroad gave me a lot of the things that I needed to be able to deal with the other things. Living in America, in the United States, my apologies. Living in the United States was, great. I mean, that's the only country I know, but I'm also aware that living in that country gave me a lot of trauma. To live somewhere where you're constantly, no matter how smart you are, no matter how many degrees you have, no matter how kind you are, no matter what, like to be Black in America sometimes and to feel the weight of the world always on your shoulders, that does some damage. And I'm not naive to the fact that I have my own traumas from living in the United States, and living in the United States as a Black woman is a whole nother thing as well. So what leaving the United States did for me is gave me the opportunity to be in an environment to where I can heal from those things. I can start to do the work, because when you think of Maslow's hierarchy of needs, you can't even reach self-actualization if you don't have your basic needs met. Here, I'm able to get quality health care that's not expensive. I needed a filling for I think about 2 years that I never got because I went to the dentist. They said it would be $200-300 with insurance. I came to this country within a month. I got the filling done for $30. And that's without insurance. And I say that not because it's like, that's a big thing, but for me it's like, how did I ever expect to truly heal and grow as a person if I was dealing with not getting the healthcare that I always needed? Because I was in college, I was working, I know how to save my money, but at the end of the day, like dropping $200-300 on a filling was it's not something I was easily able to do. Also, like food accessibility. Here I have access, I can go to Mercado and get fruits and vegetables for nowhere near the cost. Like, yes, I always try to make sure I had fruits and vegetables in the US, but most of the time it was either frozen or it just wasn't the same. Like here, like, I can't even explain it, but it's common, like, I can't explain it because I realized that I didn't know the true depth of what I was dealing with until I was out of it. I didn't realize how much pain I was in. Like I had neck and shoulder pain. It wasn't until I went to a physical therapist here and he was working, I was feeling different pains and stuff. I'm like, I didn't even know that was there. And it's because when you're in it, like when you're in a pot of boiling water, you don't know how hot it is. You just don't, because until you're out of it and you realize that was pretty hot, you just don't know. So I say figure out why you want to leave, because what I mean by that is your baggage, the trauma, whatever you have like internally, that will still go with you. But for me, it was about being in an environment in which I can work on those things, because if my basic needs weren't being met, there's no way I would have the time, the resources, the energy, whatever you want to call it, to work on the other things. And not to say that I didn't grow or work on things. I was in therapy in the US. I've grown a lot within the last year, going to therapy, things like that. But here is just different. I don't know. So it's hard for me to make videos like this because it is experience. And every Black expat I talk to is like, they try to tell people like, it's not like, I can't explain it to you. You have to experience it. You have to come here. Number two, I would say my message to you is realize if you're getting that calling or that push or that voice to go, listen to it. I'm really thankful that I listened to mine. And I won't say this is for everyone because, like I said, moving abroad, like living in the United States, living everything you've ever known is not easy. It's a lot on your mental. You're dealing with challenges and things that you've never faced before, possibly. I mean, unless you've traveled and things like that. But it's a lot. So listen to that voice. If there's something inside of you telling you that you need to leave or you want to leave, make it happen. I truly believe I'm 23, fresh out of college, whatever like that they call it. And somehow I made it happen. Now I'm just working on how to stay here, basically. Because for me, I think I'm coming up to the realization of besides my family, I don't really know what's there for me in the US that I can't have in other places where I'm not like afraid and I'm not constantly under so much stress and I know it's real because every Black expat that I've talked to that moved out of the United States, and most of them are 2 or 3 times my age, say the same thing. And I'm just grateful that I had that realization at 23, but I don't think it discounts anything to realize that if you're having that realization, if your body, your mind, whatever you want to call it, is telling you that, and you're having that awareness, I think it's more than fair to follow it and to trust it. Because at the end of the day, our intuition is what's guiding us in this world. And if you want to honor yourself, you need to trust yourself to know what's best for you. And if your body's telling you that where you currently are is not what's best for you, then follow it. The last thing I would say is it's not easy. Leaving everything you've ever known, going to a new country, dealing with language barriers, dealing with different cultures, dealing with new everything. I had to do a lot of deprogramming. I came here like the same level of tension that I had in the US, like looking on my shoulder. And while I am smart and I'm always self-aware of my surroundings and things like that, that doesn't serve me here like it did in the US. Like every time I see a police officer, I don't need to like stand up straight and look like I'm walking with purpose. Like, no, like that doesn't serve me here because that's not the environment I'm in anymore. And while it sounds like whatever, like that's a hard transition to make. That's a lot for you to kind of detangle and whatever you want to call it, for you to do the work of kind of detaching those things that no longer serve you in your new home. It's a lot of work, and it's because it's everything you've ever known. Like if you've always lived in the United States, like my whole life I lived in the United States, so it's like to do that, it's wild, but it's so necessary because I feel like if you don't, you miss out on a lot of opportunities and you close yourself off to a lot of things and people and experiences that I think could be life-changing. So when I say that it's not easy, it takes a lot of mental power to trust yourself. It takes a lot of power and courage, whatever you want to call it, to take that leap. Even like for me, like I knew I was going to Ecuador probably 3 weeks, a month before I left. And while I did months, almost a year of researching of living outside the United States to go to Thailand, I didn't know exactly how my life would pan out here in Monte, Ecuador. Like yes, I made sure I had a place to live and I did my research, I looked into things, but you don't really know what it is until you're in it. So I guess just be prepared. And also just be prepared to realize, like, there is more out there. Like, I think a lot of times they try to tell us the US is the best and there's nothing better, but I've never felt this at peace. And while, like I said, things aren't perfect, I still am battling with things. Like, I feel so much more able to deal with them. I feel like I have the ability to deal with them, when before I was just pushing it down, I was just suppressing it, I couldn't deal with it because I had to deal with all the basic things. I couldn't go up the Maslow level, I couldn't get to self-actualization because I was dealing with the basic needs. So for me, that's big, that's profound. And also, just to bring some positivity into it, if you are having that awareness and you are having that voice or whatever, I think you should be proud of yourself, because it means there's something in you that sees your life as more, and you want more out of your life. And like I said, I won't say this is for everyone, because some people, like, living in the United States is perfectly fine. But I think right now I'm seeing a lot of people that no longer seeing happiness in their lives in the United States, with whether that's because it's political reasons, a revolution, because of COVID, because everything's on fire. I can go on and on and on. But for whatever reason, just be proud of yourself that you are wanting better for yourself. Do the research. And also, if your family is not supportive or not, and no matter how old you are, because I also encourage young people. I feel like it's best I'll do a video on why young people specifically should travel now when they're young, but that's a whole other thing. But remember how old or young you are or what you look like. If you're having that feeling and you want to follow it, do it. Like, because why not? Like, for every reason, for every fear I had to not go, I already had in the US. I was scared to be alone. I already felt alone sometimes. I was less than an hour plane ride from my parents. Sometimes I was scared of COVID. There's COVID in the US 10 times worse than where I am right here. And they're taking it more seriously here. I was afraid of whatever I was afraid of. And I think that was a big thing. I was like, for every fear I had, I was already facing it. So why not do what is best for me? So I just want to send good energy, good positivity. Whoever needs to hear this, I hope it helped. I hope that maybe I gave you a different perspective. But I'll definitely say that I am 1,000 times grateful that I took the leap and moved out of the United States for me, because I know it's the best decision I could have made for myself. And I know that my life will change and will never, my life is changed forever. And I'm proud of myself too, because it takes a lot of courage to make that leap. So I encourage you to know that there's strength, there's courage in that little voice that's telling you to leave. You can do it. And if you are considering leaving the US and want to leave, drop a comment below. I'd love to hear your story. On this channel, I hope just to be transparent and not just inspire, but give other people the resources and maybe information that may help them, whatever journey they're on. And hopefully I can do that through my own journey. Because like I said, I'm only 23, I'm still learning and growing too. So hope you enjoyed this video. Like it, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace.